Ahoy there, listeners! Ready to get shipwrecked in a sea of secrets? Today we're diving deeper than a mermaid's treasure chest.
Spinach, olive oil, that one-eyed squint. But there's more to this sailor than meets the eye.
You got that right. We're going way beyond those catchy tunes and cans of spinach. We're charting a course through the life of Popeye.
And trust me, it's a journey full of surprises.
Our map for this deep dive is the biography, Popeye the Sailor, the rise and fall of a spinach-infused legend.
Buckle up, folks. This ain't your average cartoon history.
So picture this, the Great Depression. Times are tough and people are craving a hero.
And bam! Along comes Popeye, this scrawny sailor who transforms into a powerhouse right before your eyes.
Talk about an underdog story. But what's behind that spinach-fueled strength?
It's resilience, pure and simple. That grit to overcome any obstacle. That's what resonated with audiences struggling through their own hardships back then.
You're spot on. He's this little guy who becomes unstoppable. It's almost like that spinach represents this hidden potential within us all, just waiting to be unleashed.
Right. It's that never give up spirit that we all need a little bit of, especially during tough times.
And who can forget that iconic line, "I am what I am"? It's like he's saying, take me as I am, or there's the door.
Exactly. He owns his quirks, his flaws, everything. A powerful message of self-acceptance, especially in a world that wants you to fit in a certain mold.
It's incredibly relevant even today, don't you think?
Absolutely. Now, to really understand Popeye, we need to go back to his roots, to the rough and tumble world of Sweet Haven.
Okay, let's unpack this Sweet Haven situation. Now, we know Popeye didn't exactly have the picture-perfect childhood.
Not quite. His father, Poop Deck Pappy, was, well, let's just say he was more comfortable with a bottle of rum than a heart-to-heart.
And his mother. Wasn't there some mystery surrounding her?
Yeah, her disappearance is a big question mark in Popeye's past. And you have to wonder how that unresolved absence, that lack of closure, might have shaped him.
It makes you think about how our childhood experiences, especially those early family dynamics, can leave a lasting impact.
Absolutely. And for someone like Popeye, who's already a bit rough around the edges, it adds another layer to his character.
And speaking of rough around the edges, let's talk about the infamous love triangle. Popeye, olive oil, and of course the villainous Bluto.
Oh yeah, can't forget Bluto, always trying to muscle in on Popeye's territory.
It's classic cartoon rivalry, right? But what's interesting is Olive's choice. Why choose Popeye over the more outwardly charming, or at least physically imposing, Bluto?
It's a great question. On the surface, Popeye might seem like a bit of a fixer-upper.
He mumbles, he picks fights, he's got that whole spinach thing going on.
But maybe, just maybe, Olive sees something deeper. A kind heart beneath that gruff exterior. A loyalty that Bluto could only dream of.
It's like she recognizes that true strength comes from within. Not from how many cans of spinach you can shoot down in one sitting. It's that whole nice guys finish last thing turned on its head. Olive oil, she knew what was up. But let's talk about that spinach. It's practically its own character in the Popeye saga, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And like any good character, it's got a dark side. The biography doesn't shy away from showing how Popeye's dependence on spinach becomes a major problem.
Yeah, at some point, it goes from a quirky habit to, well, kind of scary.
Right. It's like the author is using this spinach addiction to hold up a mirror to the pressures of fame.
Because when you're Popeye the Sailor Man, the world expects you to be strong all the time, right?
Exactly. And it takes a toll.
So that spinach, that thing that made him a star, it starts to eat away at him.
It becomes this vicious cycle. The more he relies on it to maintain his image, the more dependent he becomes.
And the more he needs it, the harder it is to be the real Popeye.
Precisely. The irony is pretty tragic when you think about it.
It really is. And to make matters worse, his life starts falling apart in other ways, too.
Biography doesn't hold back. There's the whole heartbreak of olive oil leaving him for this suave TV star.
Ouch. Talk about adding insult to injury. I mean, first the spinach, then the love of his life sails off with someone else.
It's like a 1-2 punch. And then there's Sweet Pea.
Right, his adopted son.
Yeah.
So for our listeners who might not know, Sweet Pea is this adorable baby that Popeye finds and raises as his own.
And this is where the story takes an even darker turn, I think. You know that part in the book with the houseboat?
Wait, refresh my memory. What was the deal with the houseboat again?
So Popeye, he's convinced that he still owns this houseboat, which he doesn't, and he tries to sail it through a drive-through.
A drive-through? You mean like a fast food? Okay, that's just sad.
It's heartbreaking, really. This once mighty sailor reduced to living in a fantasy world.
Wow. That's a powerful image. And then, as if things couldn't get any worse, Bluto stages this comeback.
Right. Talk about a plot twist. And it's not just any comeback. Bluto, the guy who used to represent everything unhealthy, he reinvents himself as a fitness guru.
No way. Are you serious?
Totally serious. He's all about healthy living, promoting a spinach-free lifestyle.
Wow. Talk about irony. The guy who used to get his butt kicked by spinach is now telling everyone to ditch it. Unbelievable.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. It makes you wonder who to root for. But as much of a shock as Bluto's transformation is, nothing compares to what the author reveals next. This bombshell makes you question everything you thought you knew about Popeye's world. So we're talking about betrayal, we're talking about lies, we're talking about those gut-wrenching moments when the people we trust the most, well, they let us down.
And in Popeye's case, the betrayal hits harder than a 10-ton anchor.
Right, because it comes from Wimpy. Wimpy, of all people. The guy who's always mooching hamburgers, always seems to be on the sidelines of Popeye's life.
And maybe that's why this revelation is so powerful. Wimpy, this seemingly insignificant character, he delivers the final blow.
Okay, so for those who haven't read the book or just need a little refresher, what exactly does Wimpy do? Spill the beans.
Well, it's during this incredibly tense scene down on the docks, fog rolling in, everything's dark and gloomy. Popeye's at his lowest point.
Talk about setting the mood.
Right, and Wimpy, he just casually lets it slip. Wimpy is the father.
Woo, hold on a minute. I mean, seriously. Talk about dropping a bombshell.
And the way the author describes it, it's like Wimpy doesn't even fully grasp the weight of what he's saying, the pain he's inflicting.
It's almost like he doesn't understand that he's just shattered Popeye's world.
Exactly. And for Popeye, it's the last straw. This confirmation that everything he thought he knew, everything he believed in, was a lie.
The family he created, the love he had for Sweet Pea, it was all based on a deception.
It's a truly heartbreaking moment. And the image of Popeye at the end, alone on those docks, the waves crashing around him, it's a powerful symbol of his defeat.
He's lost everything. His strength, his love, his purpose. It's enough to make you want to reach through the pages and give the guy a hug.
It really is. And it makes you wonder about the price of fame, the masks we wear, and the lies we tell ourselves and others.
It's a reminder that behind those larger-than-life personas, there are real people with real struggles. And in Popeye's case, his story is a cautionary tale.
Absolutely. We see what happens when our dependence on something, whether it's spinach or fame or even a certain image of ourselves, becomes our downfall.
It's a powerful message that resonates even today. So next time you see Popeye on a can of spinach, remember the man, not just the cartoon. Remember his struggles, his triumphs, and ultimately, his humanity.
Because beneath that squinty eye and that spinach-powered punch, there's a story that speaks to the heart of what it means to be human, with all its flaws and complexities.
And that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating, so thought-provoking, and ultimately so unforgettable. Until next time, fellow deep divers, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep discovering those hidden depths.